Good morning, everybody. This is Casper from the Tropical Weather Threat Society bringing you a special update on Tropical Storm Melissa in the Caribbean Sea. But first, there is something that I need to do. I need to let everybody know if they would please wish one of our team members, Jonathan, a happy birthday today. Today is his birthday, and I wanted to make sure that we at least get that out here in the beginning of the live. So if everybody would please wish Jonathan a happy birthday today. All right, in the overnight on Melissa, as we could see, the satellite structure looks a lot better. We are starting to get what looks to be a little bit of banding down here into the southern side and the southeastern side of Melissa. It's starting to get that curvature, that classic tropical cyclone shape, and we're starting to see some outflow out here on the southern side. And now I'm starting to notice getting a little bit of push with some clouds on the western side as well, as that shear is forecast to relax over the coming days. If we look at the main page of the National Hurricane Center, we're not expecting anything else other than Melissa. Getting a real close-up view on the mesoscale, as we could see where the center is somewhere in this region, right? Not there. The center is somewhere in this range right here. And that is also reconnaissance supported on that particular location. There was a little bit of a southerly motion with the center of circulation. Last night we were looking at 16.2. This morning we are looking at 15.9. Last night we were looking at 75.5. This morning we are 75.0. So it has come back a little bit as far as its westerly motion, and it has also come down a little south through the overnight hours. So there was a small southern and eastern jog with this. And it's basically, it's not doing much of anything as far as movement is concerned. So currently we are 15.9 north, 75.0 west. We are around 185 miles southeast of Kingston, Jamaica, and around 260 miles southwest of Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Maximum sustained winds remain at 45 miles an hour. It is currently moving east-southeast at 1 mile an hour. Minimum central pressure remains at around 1,001 millibars. We still have a hurricane watch in effect for the southwestern peninsula of Haiti from the border of the Dominican Republic to Port-au-Prince and Jamaica. Those same locations are currently also under a tropical storm warning. Interest elsewhere in Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and eastern Cuba should monitor the progress of Melissa. A hurricane warning may be required for Jamaica later today. It is anticipated. It is actually expected. Excuse me. Hazards affecting land. Wind. Hurricane conditions are possible within the watch area in Haiti on Saturday and Jamaica beginning late Saturday or Sunday. Tropical storm conditions are expected to begin in Haiti later today and in Jamaica on Saturday. Rainfall. Melissa is expected to bring 8 to 14 inches of rain to southern Dominican Republic, southern Haiti, and eastern Jamaica through Sunday night, with locally higher amounts possible. Additional heavy rainfall is likely beyond Sunday. However, uncertainty in Melissa's track and forward speed reduces confidence in exact totals. Significant, life-threatening flash flooding and numerous landslides are expected in the southern Dominican Republic and eastern Jamaica, with catastrophic flash flooding and landslides anticipated in southern Haiti. across northern Dominican Republic, northern Haiti, and western Jamaica. 3 to 5 inches of rain are expected through Sunday night. Flash and urban flooding will be possible through Sunday night. Flooding impacts may increase across western Jamaica next week. Storm surge. Minor coastal flooding is likely along the coast of Jamaica by Saturday in areas of onshore winds as tropical storm conditions begin to reach the area. However, there is a potential risk for a more significant storm surge, especially along the southern coast of Jamaica early next week. Due to Melissa's slow motion and large forecast uncertainty, it is still too soon to know exactly how high the storm surge could reach. And our surf, stay out of the water. Very simple. With this and what it is forecast to become, please stay out of the water. Looking at our most recent forecast cone, this was issued. This is the 8 a.m. intermediate advisory graphic, though we do not get track changes in intermediate advisories. We only get track changes in primary advisories. So this is the 5 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time track. We will get a new track here at 11 a.m. Eastern this morning. As we can see, there has been a little bit of a southern motion with the forecast track, keeping this well offshore and south of Jamaica. Still quite a bit of uncertainty within the track itself, but as we can see here, we could even get a little bit of a southerly portion to a western track. So this isn't looking good for Jamaica, folks. It's really not. I can't think of anything that could be potentially more impactful in history when it comes to Jamaica than what Melissa is potentially going to bring. Looking at our most recent spaghetti plots. Now, for those who have been monitoring this day after day after day, the GFS, which is this line right here, has finally decided that it doesn't want to go like this. It has now come back and tried to join the rest of the class. The GFS has, I hate to say it, but it has failed miserably with this storm. And it's actually pathetic how bad it has performed with this storm. I'm very disappointed in the GFS. So much so that, wait a minute, that's not right. I know that's not right at all. Did we stop? All right. It's the 23rd at 12Z. They finally just guess. The GFS is, wow. Why am I not getting any updated information here? This is all old information. This is the 12Z from yesterday. All right, we can't use this. This is all 12Z from yesterday. And I don't know why this didn't update. All right, we'll slide that back and hope that we get more information from that later on tonight with our 6 p.m. normal live stream. Hopefully, Mr. Tang has at least refreshed that, because that's a very valuable tool from the University of Albany. Okay, now our forecasters discussion. The first paragraph is always the justification for the current intensity. It is paragraphs 2 and 3 that contain the most information that we are looking for as far as its future intensity and track. You know, Tacos and Chicken 22 on YouTube. There is I don't even think Melissa knows what Melissa's doing. This kind of reminds me of somebody, of an individual that has gone down to the Caribbean for a vacation, has decided that it was going to party hard, but party a little hard too much, and a little harder than what it probably should have partied. And now Melissa is stumbling drunk out there in the middle of the Caribbean trying to figure out what's going on. Somebody's eventually going to offend Melissa, and Melissa is going to go on a rampage. That's kind of the analogy that I'm looking at here within my head, and it's. I wish this wasn't the case. I really do. I mean, I hate to say this, but the best outcome scenario would be for this to turn, make direct impact with Jamaica immediately on that left hand turn, stall the system out over the islands. Now, I know exactly what I'm saying with that, but we're also looking at the fact that if it stays offshore, there is a very high probability that this is going to be at least a Category 4 system. If it makes contact with land and stays on land, it loses its fuel source to be able to then intensify into something, catastrophically large and catastrophically, intense wind speeds. So it's a double-edged sword here. Do you try to avoid some of the catastrophic flooding and allow this thing to become a wind monster, or do you take the catastrophic flooding and keep the wind speeds mitigated due to land interaction? Right or left path, it really doesn't matter. They both end up in disasters. So it's which one's worse. And at that point, you would, in my opinion, trying to avoid anything that would be Category 4, potentially Category 5, that seems to be the worst scenario, because at that point you're causing not only significant and major impacts to Jamaica, but also anybody else that happened to be up that line. If you keep it down to, say, a Category 1, Category 2 stat. So it's so tough to say that you would want one scenario over another, because no scenario is going to come out looking very well at all. And it kind of it sucks, honestly. We were so close to getting out of this season without any kind of monsters. Let's see here. We'll get to recon here in two frames there. And first I want to get through the discussion here. With Melissa located within a break in the mid-level ridge, the steering currents remain weak. Track models suggest that some meandering or a slow northeast to north drift is likely to occur over the next 24 hours. By Saturday, there will likely be just enough mid-level ridging building north of the storm to cause Melissa to begin moving very slowly westward, with that motion continuing through Tuesday. What's most noteworthy is that several reliable models, including the Euro, the HCCA Consensus, and the Google DeepMind Ensemble Mean, have shifted southward during this period. The new NHC forecast reflects this slight shift, but it is important to note that several other models continue to show Melissa's center getting perilously close to or over Jamaica in 2 to 3 days. A slow recurvature is forecast on days 4 and 5, with Melissa potentially moving near western Jamaica and approaching southeastern Cuba by early Wednesday. Interestingly, the 0Z Euro keeps Melissa south or southwest of Jamaica through day 5, but it appears to be an outlier compared to other guidance. Strong westerly shear continues to affect Melissa, but there are some indications that the shear could gradually decrease over the next 24 to 36 hours. At the same time, High oceanic heat content values and strong upper level divergence should help to induce strengthening. There is fairly strong agreement among the intensity models that a period of rapid intensification could begin in about 24 hours, and the NHC forecast shows Melissa becoming a hurricane in 36 hours. Although this is an aggressive forecast given Melissa's current structure, several models are even stronger than the NHC forecast at that time. There is less model agreement on Melissa's intensity after 48 hours. In order to maintain I can't even pronounce that damn word this morning. I know what it means. I know what it says. My mouth is just not allowing me to say it. With previous forecast, the NHC prediction is near the top end of the guidance envelope and close to the Google DeepMind ensemble mean. Other models show flatlining or decreasing intensity after 48 hours, but that is likely due to scenarios that account for more land interaction. We are still looking at seeing from the National Hurricane Center maximum sustained winds and its maximum intensity here as a mid-grade Category 4 145 mile an hour hurricane. If we look at the ship's diagram, now we just were mentioning the upper level divergence, the shear, and all this other stuff. So I did want to pull out this particular graphic this morning. We'll slide this over here. We will get our crayons. So if you look here in this bottom box down here, we are looking for this gray line right here that has our shear. That gray line is down here. As you can see, we have a decent amount of shear, and then the forecast for the shear to basically subside for a little while, being maybe starting in around 6 to 12 hours, and then maintaining that lower value of shear getting through maybe 3.5 days. Getting into maybe about 84, 90 hours or so, and then the shear beginning to increase in earnest due to the approaching and attachment of the trough or frontal boundary that would be responsible for picking it up and eventually moving it north and taking it out of the Caribbean. So we've certainly got an area, I'd say over the next 4 days, to where we've really got to watch this thing for its intensity. That being said, if we look at the green line, we have that 700 to 500 millibar relative humidity, the same type of graphics that we show at our 6 p.m. breakdowns. We could see that we have a great amount of mid-level moisture, and then it begins to reduce. Now, when we get below, say, 50%, it's going to be a little difficult for this to, find the proper environment of moisture within that mid-level. That being said, we're still looking at it here, somewhere again in that first 4 days. The big part about it is up here in this upper graphic is this gray line. This gray line is the 200 millibar divergence. What that means is that the air at about 40,000 feet up is expanding, is going outward. It's divergent. It allows the air that is coming up to that area to then spread out and not necessarily be convergence or coming together and compressing. It is allowing all of the shower and thunderstorm activity below it to continue to rise and allow the exhaust from the upper levels to just spread out and be divergent away from the storm. As we could see, for at least the next, I'd say probably 48 hours or so, we get a massive area of upper level divergence. And that's going to be right about the time as we see that the wind speeds really, really start to take off. So, kind of buckle up, folks. This one, it doesn't look good at all. Our reconnaissance. Oh, we're getting ready to get a secondary punch. I don't see it strengthening yet. It really hasn't started it. As you can see here with the recon and where they're looking at that. Wow, this may have come further east, southeast. We may be 74.7. Wow. We'll come back to this. Let's see. We are 15 after. We are 20 after. We're going to come back to this in about 5-6 minutes because I am very interested to see if this center has jaunted back to the east, which would then have impact on anything that tries to go west. So that's certainly going to change forecast track if that is what verifies. Our wind speed probabilities here this morning. Yes, folks, in the U.S., you are listed here, but those are values and percentages that are negligible. If those continue, those actually have been falling over the last couple runs, which means that your threat is reducing. And now with an even, with this potential eastern jog that we have, those numbers are going to come down even further. Taking a look at, we are starting to get some increases for folks in the Bahamas. It's very, very slight increase. I've been going over this. Havana has actually gone down. Let's see. Guantanamo Bay, you're holding at about what you were yesterday. Grand Cayman, now you've come up just a little bit from last night. Currently, you're looking at a 50% chance of tropical storm force winds. You are also looking at a 26% chance of seeing those 50 knot or 58 mile an hour winds and a 14% chance of seeing hurricane force winds. Though, let's wait and see what we get with the next primary advisory because those numbers may go down due to this slight eastward jog. Montego Bay, you are up to 81% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds, a 45% chance of seeing our 50 knot or 58 mile an hour winds, and a 24% chance of seeing our hurricane force winds. Kingston, surprisingly, your numbers have actually gone down, but not by very much. I mean, we're talking about 1% in the tropical storm force compared to last night. You are currently still at 91% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds, with a 56% chance of seeing those 50 knot or 58 mile an hour winds, and a 27% chance of seeing those hurricane force winds. So certainly some impacts, no doubt about it. But again, we will monitor these numbers and these values as we go forward. So this way we understand the trends. Our rainfall forecast. I really wish that they would have changed this. We will get a new one here with the next primary advisory, I would imagine. I hope we get a new one because this is the same graphic that we were working with last night. And though it has been updated for isolated to 20 inches plus here in parts of southwestern Haiti on the peninsula of the Tiburon Peninsula, and then over here into eastern Jamaica, we are now isolated 16 inches plus. So an unbelievable amount of rain that is going to cause catastrophic situations, especially for the folks here in Haiti. And it's becoming more and more likely that Jamaica is going to join in on that catastrophic situation as well. The rainfall, I've got this here pushed out 6 days. We have the Euro 6Z on the left, and we have the GFS 6Z on the right. Both of these graphics are shown at the 144-hour or 6-day timeline. And as you could see, the GFS has finally decided that it is going to, kind of, like I said, join the class, but still creates a considerable amount of rain into southern Dominican Republic, and especially across the Tiburon Peninsula of Haiti and even parts of eastern Cuba. This would be catastrophic. Both of them are catastrophic, folks. As you can see, the Euro wants to bring an unbelievable amount of rain into areas of Jamaica here and eastern Cuba, the Tiburon Peninsula. A little bit less rain here into the southern portions of the Dominican Republic compared, obviously, to the GFS, which is much further east in its track. Our key messages, and again, I'm going to say this because we have people that watch this live stream that folks may not believe that actually watch our live streams. This is the first time that I've ever seen the National Hurricane Center subject the key messages by country. And I really, really like this idea, and I hope that they use this again in the future. I think this is a huge upgrade, not in or just to categorize each country separately. Whoever's idea at the National Hurricane Center to do this for the key messages, shout out to you. Big shout out to you. Thank you for doing this. Key message number 1 for Jamaica. Due to Melissa's slow motion, the risk of prolonged multi-day period of potentially damaging winds, heavy rainfall, resulting in life-threatening flash flooding and numerous landslides, and storm surge continues to increase for Jamaica. Preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion since strong winds and flooding rains could begin in Jamaica later today or on Saturday. I completely agree. Rush all preparations to completion in the warned and watched areas. If you get a warning or a watch in say into eastern Cuba, start making preparations now, so this way you don't have to rush preparations to completion. For folks in Haiti, this is sad to read, folks. I'm not gonna lie. This is it's heartbreaking to read stuff like this. Heavy rainfall will result in catastrophic flash flooding and landslides across southwestern Haiti by this weekend into early next week. Extensive damage to roads and buildings is expected, potentially isolating communities for an extended period of time. This is a life-threatening situation, and immediate preparations to protect life and property should be taken. Strong winds could also potentially last for a day or more over the Tiburon Peninsula of Haiti. The last time that we saw this particular sentence that says extensive damage to roads and buildings is expected, potentially isolating communities for an extended period of time, we saw that last year, 2024. And that was with Hurricane Helene. Though all of that was for the Carolinas. So this storm has all of the aspects of some of the worst storms that we've seen over the past 10 years kind of combined into one. And it's tough. We don't want any loss of life to any tropical cyclone. And when you're faced with something like this, knowing the widespread impacts, knowing the catastrophic damage that is coming, I hope that we don't end up with a humanitarian crisis and at the end of the day, what I'm afraid of is that our fatality counts will require a comma to list the number. Now, I'm genuinely afraid of that. Number three, for the remainder of Hispaniola and eastern Cuba, heavy rainfall could also produce significant life-threatening flash flooding and numerous landslides in southern Dominican Republic. Interest in Cuba should monitor the progress of Melissa since the risk of heavy rainfall, damaging winds, and storm surge appears to be increasing. For the folks in eastern Cuba, start making preparations now. It may not be there for days, but you could start making, those preparations in the meantime. All right, with the University of Wisconsin taking a look at some of our remote satellite and remote sensing information. We're starting our rapid intensification model. Here we go. We're starting to get there. Current maximum basin intensity is 168 knots. But we're starting to get some colors starting to show up on that rapid intensification model, and would not be surprised if those begin to increase in earnest over the next 24 hours. Shear analysis, we're down to 18 knots of shear. Yesterday we were well within 20s. Now we're at the 18. We could very easily see some of this. This is the winds, obviously, folks, here. We could see that shear continue to reduce over time. Yeah, we are looking at back behind 74 or 75. What you got for us? And they flew right along. Yeah, that's where they're going to call it. That's definitely where they're going to call it. This storm has jumped back here. From here. No doubt. This has jumped back to the east, but it didn't go north. It went south. If anybody would like to contact Melissa out here and just ask her to cut it out, if you would, please. Looking at the graphics. Oh. We may get an increase in strength in this upcoming update. But that also may be suspect. I don't have Kylie here to go through the data while we are go through the raw data while we are in the middle of the live. All right, our ensembles. Now, I've got the 0Z out here for the Euro. I did not pull the 6Z because it was still populating here on weather models. And as you can see, the Euro has a very large swath of potential tracks heading out to the west, with still that northeastern forecast expected, and what the National Hurricane Center noted, that some of the Euro could be an outlier. Comparing that to the GEFS going out 5 days here, and we'll push it to 7. At this point in time, the GEFS has, again, a very wide variety of solutions. It's again a great amount of uncertainty. Looking at the Euro AI, a little bit more of a tighter track at this point. We'll get down a little closer. As you could see, nothing that were to get towards Haiti, and nothing that slips way out to the west. So we're getting a little bit more of a tighter, kind of area or region as to where this is anticipated to go compared to what we see with our physics-based models. Now I'm going to click over to the Google DeepMind. And if you guys have been watching any of our lives yesterday, you know what I'm getting ready to show you. So please mentally prepare yourself for this. It's not pretty. This is the 0Z run. I will hit the refresh on this and see. We do not have the 6Z populated on their particular Weather Lab website. As you can see, the ensemble mean, we'll try to highlight it. It is located right, there we have it. Come on. There we go. That is the ensemble mean of the blue line. As you can see, it brings it well south, has it creating pretty much a loop, which I guess were to make a little bit of sense, being that we are watching this move east-southeast at this point in time. So it could be a viable outcome here. And though by the time that it gets and pulling northward towards Jamaica, this turns into an absolute monster. And so much so that if I can get it to highlight, the ensemble mean has it 124 knots, category 4, with a minimum central pressure of 935 millibars. Here exactly 5 days out. And this would be right on the western tip of Jamaica. If we look at the intensity model distribution, this is disgusting. It is showing values and stuff that I've only seen in Westpac systems this year. With some of these intensity distributions. And if we look at Tuesday morning, right now with the Google DeepMind, they only have one of the 50 ensemble members that would not have it as a major hurricane. One. A 2% chance that it would not be a major hurricane. That is the model distribution and intensity distribution is that's unbelievable, with equal chances of it being a category 4 or category 5 system. And the Google DeepMind has performed so well this year that we have to give this credibility. We have to. It has earned that credibility. That's why the National Hurricane Center mentions it so much in the discussions nowadays, because it has earned that credibility, and it's been an amazing addition. Not gonna lie, but this is something that I wish that it wasn't showing. Catastrophic impacts here to the folks in Jamaica. When I say catastrophic, this is the 0Z model breakdown. And although it's still horrible, honestly, it's not as bad as what we saw last night. It's kind of leveled off here, but every single one of these ensemble members, every one of them, bring it down to below 950 millibars, which is kind of where we start with our major hurricane for pressures. It's kind of in and around there. Where we get into the real major part of a hurricane. Yes, you could have wind speeds, of course, with a higher pressure that would be considered a major hurricane. But when you're looking at the overall minimum central pressures being down below 950 millibars, now you're pretty much guaranteeing that. It all has to do with the diameter of the eye as to the overall max wind speeds that you are going to see compared with your pressure. And if the diameter of the eye is very small, like what we saw with, say, Hurricane Charlie back in 2004, where the eye of the storm, it had 941 millibars of pressure, but maximum sustained winds of 150 miles an hour. that was due to the small eye of the system. And if the eye was larger, then the wind speeds would have been a little less at that point. So this is it to eastern parts of Cuba. I would recommend doing the same as well. You've got extra time though over there for Cuba. You don't have time in Jamaica. Time is not your friend right now. Um, for those that may have watched last night, I did show a scenario with Habs A that actually made it out of the entire basin of the Caribbean without making landfall. Well, just for those who may have been in attendance last night, I am going to show you what it does here today. And as you could see, it is no longer in agreement with that scenario. Why are we only getting 54 hours? What's going on? I swear we were looking at it just before we got on this live. Why are we not getting our hours now? Oh, okay. Oh, this is the 60, so we'll get even a fresher run. And as you can see, it is last night, like I told everybody, if that were to verify, I quit. Because I mean, let's be real. You doing the dance and being able to get out without hitting anybody, come on. Come on, guys. I mean, come on. You're really going to do like the cha cha slide through the islands and kind of duck around the peninsula of Haiti and up under Cuba and out. Really, if it does, as you can see though this morning, that model that we had there yesterday that was, in my opinion, completely lost its mind. We're waiting on Habsby is still trying to figure out what Habsby wants to do. So I'm not going to show that. All right, the database, using the database that is tied to the page. We are still monitoring all of Jamaica. If I bring it back to the home page, as you can see, this is based out of Kingston, and with our news release, they have their bulletins. So please follow the official sources. That's the whole reason that Kylie made the database to begin with. Follow your official sources. Can't stress this enough. Cannot stress this enough. Taking a quick look at their local radar, which they finally got it repaired after years, and I'm afraid that this thing is going to go out again, and who knows how long it's going to take them to get it repaired. But as we could see, there are some lingering little showers and storms kind of rolling through, but you're not going to have much more time here in Jamaica to get the preparations completed prior to the arrival of some potentially catastrophic impacts. Use your official sources, folks. Jumping over to Haiti with their National Vigilance Bulletin. And this was issued last night. Haiti really isn't too overly... they issue stuff, but it's not on a regular basis due to the political turmoil that goes through the country. They don't have a very robust and comprehensive meteorological service, but they do their best that they can. And I certainly wish them the best with this. Jumping over to the Dominican Republic. As you can see, they have a little bit more of a robust meteorological department and have been issuing bulletins regularly. Let's see here. It has, we'll see if we get any info. Waves exceeding 9 feet on the southern side. We do not have any rainfall estimates or updates. We did. They were issuing them yesterday, so we'll look into that a little bit more and maybe report back in on that at 6 p.m. tonight. The Cayman Islands, the National Weather Service here in the Cayman Islands, as of last night or this morning, they have active storm. As you can see here, you click on that, it populates you to this particular graphic. Official sources, folks. Official sources. All right? Please use your official sources. Jumping over to Cuba. Again, official sources. Please. I'm begging everybody, stay safe. Do not be complacent with this storm. Rush all preparations to completion. Amanda, that next live today will be 6 p.m. Eastern. I have to go into town. We are meeting Kylie this afternoon at 1, so I will not have the opportunity to do an afternoon live. Today, we are going to run 6 p.m. and again at 10:45 tonight. Tomorrow, I am looking at likely doing the 4 live set to where it'll be 9, 1, 6, and 10:45 all times Eastern Daylight Time. And we'll probably run that 4 the 4 live stream through the until it's no longer necessary. This one, I'm not gonna lie to you folks. This one scares me. This one scares me, and I don't say that very often, but this one scares me. Come on, give me my sunlight. Not enough frames yet. So on the website Cyclonic WX, if you go to their satellite radar, I'll just show you exactly how. Make sure you've got Tropical Storm Melissa, and then this only works during the day. Click on your visible type, and then your RGB visible, and then run the loop. Because during the day, you will see that the low-level clouds start to highlight yellow. Your mid and upper-level clouds remain in this white-colored feature. So it really, really allows you to be able to see the movement of those low-level clouds. And it's very helpful. You could definitely start to see some of that banding, some of these banding features begin to develop, and a little bit of persistence. It's not holding yet, but it's trying to get some shower and thunderstorm activity developing to the west of the system itself, with one tiny little storm. It's got to start somewhere, keep in mind, right there at the end of the frame. Watch. Whoop, there it is. So we're starting to see things slowly occur there on the western side where all of that shear has been. So it's going to be a day to day, no doubt about it. And the days to come, it's going to suck, especially for those down here. My heart goes out to all y'all. Please rush all preparations to completion. Velva Plant 4515 here on YouTube, watching from Jamaica. My heart goes out to you and all of your fellow countrymen. I'm heartbroken just watching this. We almost got out of this entire season with not having a major impact, and it's not pretty. It really isn't. And I wish y'all, honestly, I wish y'all the best. I really do. Please, if you know anybody that is, check on your neighbors. Rush all preparations to completion. I know you guys have a completely different mindset and culture down there compared to the United States, where a lot of neighbors help one another, to where you guys are basically where y'all are a team, and you come together as a community. And I'm really, really hoping for the best for everybody at this point in time, because what I see with especially with the best performing intensity model that we've had this season, showing something that would remind me of Gilbert back in '88, but worse. Now, I know Gilbert went straight across the island at 175, but this is going to be such a slow duration event that we, if it goes far enough south, it may not create those, big time winds that we saw there on, with Gilbert. I know that's a very famous storm down there. Uh, this is bad. This I promise I'm gonna be here with y'all throughout this entirety. I don't care where you live. Everybody gets treated with the same amount of respect and gratitude around here. We will continue to do multiple lives daily to make sure that we go over the latest information from the National Hurricane Center and these models to better understand that the potential threat. But right now the threat is extreme. Please rush all preparations to completion. You're very, very welcome. Yes. Hold on, Amanda. A matter of fact, I can do that. Let me see here. Let me figure out how to share it. Okay, I've got the channel now. How do I? Oh, well, duh. Just copy and paste it. As soon as I'm allowed to post it. There you go. There you go, Amanda. There you go. All right, everybody. I am going to go ahead and sign off here for at least a little bit. I'm going to try to find myself some food. We've got to get ready. Like I said, we're meeting Kylie in town this morning. I get to go to Doak Campbell Stadium and meet my daughter. It's such a thing, being a lifelong Seminoles fan for Florida State University. And my daughter lives like a block and a half from the stadium and goes to Florida State University. I mean, I beam with pride every time I step foot on that campus, except if it's orientation. I'm not beaming with anything other than get me off this campus. There's tens of thousands of people here all at once. I gotta go, and the traffic is absolutely ridiculous. So. All right, everybody. I am going to talk to y'all here in a little while. We will be back live 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central here on Facebook and YouTube. And then again tonight at 10:45 p.m. Eastern, 9:45 Central to cover that primary advisory for the overnight period. And then we are going to kick into full gear come starting tomorrow. So... I could see that I could probably get in for tomorrow, and we'll see about clearing schedules to make sure that we keep everybody up to date and informed until this threat is finally over with. So stay safe, everybody. We'll talk to you again here in a few hours. And folks in the warned areas, again, rush all preparations to completion. Bye for now.